So I've stopped. Rolled, screamed. Oh, no, will scream? I'm like, yes. There is this car. Registration number this. The make of car is this. My husband is in that car. He's innocent. They have guns. Please help me. They're like, madam, usijali, itapatikana tu. They're done. I think I watched too many action movies. They don't stop any car to chase it. You know, I was expecting something.
Some sort of help.
Yeah.
Do something.
So they went on radio call to alert the Rongai police station. If you see the registration number this, make of this car, stop the car. There's an innocent civilian, the rest are armed robbers. I was like, okay. So now we're waiting. That time, I'm feeling blood is oozing.
Oh, God.
So I'm not sure where I'm bleeding from. Remember, I've rolled from the car.
And you're pregnant.
Yeah, so I told the cop, can I borrow your phone? He said yes. Every time I'm in trouble, the only number I can remember is my mother's. So I call my mom. I'm like, hi, mom, we've been carjacked. Please call me back. Now my mom is worse. She just dropped the phone and nguvu ikaisha.
Wow.
So my dad is like, what's wrong? Joe is in trouble, we've been carjacked. So my dad is on who called back. When he called back the cop's phone, I told him where I'm at. And this is what has happened. They have Ken. Then he tells me, let me talk to the cop. So the cop is told this is her father. She's pregnant. She has told me she's bleeding. Could you please check for me if you can see visible wounds on her? And could you also help me get someone to take her to hospital? Then the cop was like, okay. Then he's on phone with my dad, and then with a torch, he's, looking at my body, and then he's telling my dad, her knees are hurt, and they're bleeding, and then her leg, the piece, there's a piece of meat that just came off because the tarmac was too harsh on it.
And the speed of the car.
And then at that point, my foot is already now swelling up. So he told them, could you please get a way to take her to hospital? For some reason, when they carjacked us, they took my wallet, checked there was no money, and gave me back my wallet. I've never heard of carjackers who give you back the wallet. They normally go with everything.
Yeah, they do.
So when I jumped out, my wallet was on.
It was on your
my laps. So I had my medical card. So when they asked me which hospital can we take you, I told them Nairobi Hospital, because I think from Rongai that was the closest. So what do the cops do? They stop a border. Madam, panda hii border itakupeleka hosi. And I looked at him and I'm like, there is no way I am getting on a border.
With all those injuries.
First and foremost, he's a stranger. Right now, any stranger right now is stranger danger for me. So I can't. So if it's not you guys taking me to hospital, watch and
it's okay. I'll do it.
In the meantime, my mother has rallied everyone who's related to me in Nairobi. Wake up.
Look for this girl.
Find my daughter.
Look for this girl.
So everyone is woken up. People have been told she's been taken to Nairobi Hospital. So that's where they all convened first. The children now, they're wondering, where is this girl? So my uncle, my dad's bro, called and is like, we are here. She's not arriving. Where is she? Where was she last spotted? Then my dad tells him she was at Magadi Road just before you get to Rongai. So my uncle decided, I have gone to look for her.
I can't wait
here. So he drove all the way. No, actually, before that, before now he came to look for me, remember they had stopped a border. So when I refused to get on the border, my dad asked them, is there a cop car that you guys can use to take her to hospital? They said, iko lakini mafuta. So my dad said,
send money.
Exactly. So my dad is like, from your hearts, please help her. She's in need of a hospital. When they dilly-dallied, my uncle was like, this is nonsense.
I'm coming.
No, he called my auntie. My auntie was an OCPD then.
Okay.
She was woken up. She asked them, why am I being told now? Can I get that number? So she called. I just saw a cop saluting on the phone. I was like, oh yeah, my auntie has been called. So she asked them, what is this I'm hearing? Fuel. Can you get the cruiser to take her to hospital? How it got fuel and got me to be taken to hospital was because of a call. On our way, they decide and insist I have to fill in that, what do they call them? The
P3?
The P3 forms, yeah? And they were deciding that I should do it in Langata because that's where we were carjacked. And then the other one was saying, no, it should be in Rongai because that's where she has been
they
found.
were doing all this just because of the call.
Yeah.
Which means if the call hadn't come through,
Nothing
you'd
would have
probably
happened.
still have been standing there.
Exactly. So we go to Langata police station and then they're being told you should take her to Rongai. In the process of that, I hear in the radio, car has been found. Then they have lingo that I didn't know. But there was something that was said after that I didn't understand. So when the cop comes back to the car, I tell him, take me back. The car has been found. I need to know he's okay. Because there's no way I've jumped out for nothing. Then they're like, you know, we're going to get into trouble. We were told to take you to hospital. I'm like, if you get into trouble, tell her I'm the one who refused to go. Just take me back to where the car has been found. So instead of taking me back to the car, they took me to Rongai police station and told me they are securing the scene.
Okay.
So I now that's where my uncle was like, we've been waiting an hour, where is she? So he came to find me. So he came, found me at the Rongai police station, picked me up and told me, you need to get checked because these wounds don't look so good. So we went to Nairobi hospital. That's where now I met all my other cousins waiting for me. Then tetanus shot, being cleaned, namely, ultrasound done. The baby's heartbeat was steady, like nothing happened.
Hallelujah. There's a God in
The
heaven.
only elevated heartbeat was mine.
Oh,
The doctor was like,
in
"At you did
heaven."
what? There's
wow.
nothing. There was that amniotic fluid is for a reason, I think. But they were so calm.
That's a miracle right there.
They were so calm. So now calls are being made because she's been found, but we need to find Ken. Where is he? So at around 1, my uncle and my 2 cousins gather outside. Me, I'm being managed on this side. Then they gather outside and then they go. Then I asked them, where are you going? To find Ken. I was like, okay. At least I know someone is looking for him. Then my other cousins gather around and then they call the doctor and tell the doctor, we would like you to keep her overnight for observation. I know she doesn't have major wounds, but is it okay if you kept her?
Considering how much she's pregnant.
Yeah. And she's pregnant and it's a twin pregnancy. So the doctor came and told me, just to be safe, we want you to sleep overnight.
I think that was a good move.
And because we can see how you're very charged, we'll need to give you something to help you sleep.
Excuse me.
I was like, no problem. No problem. I finally conk out with 3 sleeping pills. That's how charged I was. Morning comes and my parents arrive at around 11. My mom saw me and just started crying. Because I think for her, it was, you see her now, she's gone. You know, for her, it was such an awakening moment for her. You could have your child today, tomorrow she's gone. Life is too fickle. So I'm asking everyone, have they found Ken? Have they found Ken? Have they found Ken? Everyone knows where Ken is but me.
Okay.
I was like, so now I asked my dad, have they found Ken? My dad is like, we're still looking. Okay. Then they went outside.
Could you tell there was anything off?
No, I couldn't tell. I could tell they're trying to hide something, but I couldn't tell what it is. But because in my brain, he needs to be okay.
Yeah.
So
he has to be okay.
My dad comes out of the room and sees the Nairobi chaplain, the guy in charge of the chaplain, and tells him, "We have a situation here, and we need your help."
Okay.
He explains the situation, then he tells, the chaplain says, no problem, I can handle that. So I was taken to a separate room, and I was told to narrate my story again, in front of now my family. I narrate, and I had myself, and it felt like I was telling someone's story. You know that out of body. Then when I was done, he said, you're a very courageous and brave woman. In my head, I'm like, okay, where is this going?
Yeah.
Then he tells me that Ken didn't make it.
Whoa.
And I was like, say that again? Ken didn't make it. I looked at everyone around that room, and everyone knew but me. And I asked them, you all knew? And everyone was looking down.
Yeah.
I think I just cried for 2 minutes.
Hard moment.
I wiped my tears and I never cried again.
Whoa.
I slipped into denial. I was
It
taken
has
back
to be
to the
okay.
room, and people said, come to see me, to say sorry and everything. And I would look at them, I'm like, oh, okay, hi, how are you? I was talking and acting like everything is fine. Then one day, that was on Friday, so I spent the weekend in hospital. Then on Monday, around Monday, Tuesday, they come and tell me, so the funeral is set. They even asked for a tribute. I wrote a tribute.
What's going on in your mind as you're writing that tribute?
Denial.
You're not thinking, this I am writing for...
I think the chemicals in my brain were just malfunctioning because
you were still okay.
I was emotionless.
Okay.
But I wrote a tribute.
Clearly you're in denial.
Yeah. I don't know how KTN got wind of it. I was on KTN News on Sunday night. I watched myself and I was like, it's like I'm narrating someone's story.
Who's that? Yeah.
That's not me. So I'm told the funeral is on Friday. And I asked my dad, so fast? He's like, yeah, why? See, we wait a little longer. Why? See, you'll come back. That's when they realized she is not dealing. She's not dealing.
Yeah.
Then he said, even if we wait for a month, he's not coming back. I told him, okay, you want me to believe it? Show me the body. Show me the body. My mom is like, no. Because now I think my mom's mind went into, she has babies. Can we protect that as well?
We need to take care. We're not just taking care of joy.
Yeah. But at this point, the hospital has stepped in, and they're already considering me a high-risk pregnancy candidate, because anything more than one child is a high risk. And she's in denial and she's not dealing. So we want her.
Hurt at that.
Yeah, and she's
hurt.
hurt. I have tetanus and I have wounds. I'm being dressed every day. So they wanted, if she can deal in hospital, whatever can happen, even if it's a miscarriage, at least there are people on standby
who can be able to
who can help. That's what they wanted. But is Joy aligning? Nothing. She's in denial. So when the doctor was told she's saying, show me the body, he actually said, let's take her. If it's going to help her deal when she's here, so be it. So the day was arranged. I was taken to Umosh, and I was set somewhere to wait for the body to be brought in. Just at the corner, I could see the head and the hairline. I could just tell that's him. So he was brought up to where I was. I stood up, and I looked, and he was full liwat. And I touched him, and the body was cold. And then I asked the most weirdest question. I said, I want to see the whole body. I have no idea to this day why I asked that.
Still denial.
And then I saw it was one bullet to the heart. Like they hit the main organ. So it was instantaneous death. And I looked around, I looked at my dad and I asked him, who's going to rub my back when it's aching? Because he used to rub my back. And my dad couldn't answer.
Yeah.
That's when I broke down. For, oh my gosh, it's real.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I didn't want to accept that. Because why did I jump? If this was the outcome. I should have stayed. Maybe he would have been alive.
All these questions.
So, that day no one was allowed to see me so that I deal. And I now started dealing. And the first thing that came to my mind is, how am I going to do this by myself?
Yeah. I'm pregnant with twins.
I was drawing strength from him. Remember the reaction. Me, I got the dude reaction for, you can't be pregnant. And him, he's like, yay!
You're having babies.
So my strength was coming from him. Now he's gone. What do I do now? How? It's one thing to raise one child. Two! What? How? So I look at my mom and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? She's like, we're here with you. In my head, I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get it. On the funeral, we went to the funeral home to see the body, so that now we proceed to the burial and the service and the burial. You could tell that's his family and that's Joy's family. And there was coldness. That whole week for preparing for the funeral, my mom used to go to his mom's every day. After she's visited me, she goes.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's because we had already become a family.
Because they'd already come
So,
home.
see, even the mashakaya can be done, and she'll try and stay. So on Friday, when they treated us like that, we couldn't understand what have we done, and no one was telling us. I asked to stay in the room where the body was being viewed by myself, and I was told no. What do you want to do with the body? And that was hurtful.
I can imagine.
We went to church. Remember, I had a tribute.
Yes.
Everyone read their tribute but me. Okay. Everyone else's tribute was read but mine.
At that point, are you wondering what is not going on here?
It's in my mind, but I honestly,
dealing with loss.
I can't deal. I'm like, imagine, I don't
so
have,
much on your plate.
There's too much going on. Then the auntie was requested to sing, and she went to sing a song for her nephew. I couldn't deal. I stood up. My mom was like, the sanguine in this girl might just decide to cause drama here. So she tells my cousin, please stop her. That time I was in a wheelchair because my legs were very swollen, but I stood up and I walked. When my cousin stood and told me, Joy, you don't have to do this, I told him, leave me alone, I don't belong here. And I shouted, I don't belong here. And I walked slowly out of the church. He went and got the wheelchair. I found him waiting at the door. I sat at the wheelchair and he asked me, so where do you want to go? I'm like, anywhere but here.
As in, I just need to get here.
I couldn't. I couldn't understand why you treating me like that. So we went and we just fresh air. When the service was over, see, we were supposed to now follow the Mlolongo to the graveside.
For the funeral.
But the time I arrived at the graveside, he was already 6 feet under, and people were throwing soil.
Okay. So in other words, there
I was not recognized at all.
Okay.
My dad,
clearly there was something going on here.
So I got there, and my dad told me, let's go and put the soil in. I told him, what for? He told me, you have to let go. And this is the sign to let go. Putting the soil.
It is.
So, because the wheelchair, it was an uphill part, so the wheelchair couldn't go up. So my dad and another friend supported me, and we went up. Scooped soil and put it in. And then I went back and sat in the car. No one was recognized from my side. Anyone who was affiliated with Joy was not recognized. Even the pastors who came to see him off, because we were in the same church, remember? No one was recognized. So, when they
not
finished...
Not even your parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bouquet of flowers that had been put for me, I wasn't called to place it. But everyone on his side placed flowers.
In other words, you're featuring
I did not appear anywhere. So...
And this was your family?
Yeah.
So your in-laws?
Yeah. So when they finished their thing, and they left, us guys went back to the gravesite. For some reason, people felt they had not given him a proper send-off. So we all went up and did a service. A church
because
service.
you had been like excommunicated, so to speak.
We went, held our own service, and then people were told, if anyone has something to say, now is the time. Or people broke down. He was only 26. People broke down. And people said what was in their hearts. The poem I had written, I read. I read my tribute, and I finally now really felt that loss. My mom was asked to say something, and she just said, thank you for making this happen for my daughter. Because this is what she needed. So now people were ready. They felt a send-off had been given. And we went home. And I've never felt rejection like I did that time, and I never understood why. So a week or two later, we are called by the OCPD Rongai, and we're told, please come to the Rongai police station because we need a meeting to decide on who gets the car. The car needs to be released. So we go. So we find his mom, his brother, and his sister there. And it was me and my mom and a friend of mine who had gone to the police station. So we were asked, we sat down, and then the OCPD said, the reason I've called both of you is because customarily you're the wife.
Yes, you are.
And you're the mother.
Yeah.
I do not want any case in the future saying Rongai police station released this car and I did not approve of it as a wife, or I didn't approve of it as the mother. So I wanted to call you two women and you tell me, who do we release the car to? He died in that car. He was shot in that car. That car had blood. I didn't want anything to do with it. That's not a reminder I want.
No.
I told him, you can have it. Let the mother have it. He's like, are you sure? I'm like,
Okay.
he found me without a car. It is fine. That was his. It was his. Those are the things I found him with.
Yeah.
So she can have it. You could tell instant relief from the mom.
Oh,
she became
thought
friendlier.
It was going to become a fight.
She became friendlier. She started talking to me. I'm like, really? You thought I was after him for what he had accomplished? Really? So the sister is on came and found me somewhere and asked me, tell me exactly what happened that night. And I narrated the story. And then she told me, you should not have jumped over that car. My brother would be alive.
Who said?
The
Oh, that's
sister.
why there was so... No, I'm saying who said?
Yeah. So now I
I'm getting annoyed
understood.
on your behalf.
Now I understood why we were treated the way we were.
They
The
were blaming
blame
you.
was all on me. It was her fault.